to say that things did not go well for Donald Trump and his family in this past week at the New York fraud trial would be an understatement. Things were horrible. Nothing good happened for Donald Trump in New York this week. Not only did he, of course, get fined $10,000 at the end of last week, so that kind of came, to start this week, really, because it happened at the end of last week. But then, of course, his kids had to testify. They did a horrible job. He got smacked down by Judge Arthur Engoron. He ran out of court and the Secret Service had to follow him. It was just a bad week. But don't tell his lawyers that, because his lawyers think that they have done a kick-ass job representing him this week. In fact, this week, while she was headed into court, Alina Habba, Donald Trump's lawyer for some reason, was overheard while on the phone with Trump. This is according to MSNBC's Lisa Rubin. Habba was heard saying, "Hi, sir, I am in the elevator in the courtroom." She then paused for a moment and said, "I will knock them dead." This is the part where the narrator's voice would come on and say Alina Habba did not knock them dead. In fact, if anything, they made fools of themselves for the entire week. Because let's not forget also, this week, Alina Habba got mad, because she wasn't getting respect. You had witnesses rolling their eyes. What's up with that, right? So she wasn't happy. And she damn sure didn't knock anybody dead, that's for true. But here's what's so funny about this. A good lawyer is not going to say something like that to their clients. They're simply not. You want a lawyer, and I say this as somebody that has worked in the legal profession, side by side every day with the best lawyers in this country, interviewing members of the Trial Lawyer Hall of Fame, okay? I've been with the greats, and I've been in the legal industry for 20 years now. A good lawyer is not going to say something like that to their client as they're walking into the courtroom. Yes, trust me, lawyers can be very arrogant, but the ones who are good know when to put on the arrogance and when to tone it down. And when you're on the phone with your client, walking into court, that is not the time to make lofty promises to them that you cannot keep. A good lawyer, no matter how arrogant they are, is going to tell their client, "I'm going to do everything I can for you." That's the statement. I can't tell you how many times I have heard the best lawyers in this country, some of the most arrogant in some instances, some of the folks out there, but I have heard them use that statement, "I'm going to do the best that I can for you, and I am confident in our case." They have never said while walking into court, "I'm going to go knock them dead. You just wait. Ooh, we're going to get them." Because they know that it is never okay to give your client false hope, to give them unrealistic expectations at trial. A good lawyer would never, ever do that. And that's what pisses me off about this story. Okay, this isn't a Alina Habba said something and then she didn't do it. No, this is like this is a bad lawyer. This is a bad lawyer. You don't say things like that, and you damn sure if you are going to say them, you don't let another soul on the planet overhear you say that. That's why this pisses me off. Trump is going to go down in this trial. None of his lawyers are going to knock him dead in the courtroom. But if they keep feeding him false hope, then they're going to be in for a very rude awakening when all this is over. Because if they tank this for him and he pins the blame on them, he is going to end their careers. In Alina Habba's case, really before it even got started. So you better tone down the arrogance, Alina. You haven't earned it, and you certainly don't know how to wield it properly. But if you keep doing this, Trump's going to end up destroying you like he's destroyed so many others that have worked for him as his lawyer. Ring of Fire has fresh content 7 days a week, so if you want to be reminded about it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell to be notified every time a new video goes up.